coprire il corpo di Polinice che il tiranno infuriato aveva gettato ai cani ed agli uccelli.
E Ismene incontrò la sorella che raccoglieva la polvere.
Ismene! My sister! My twin! Do you know of some form of madness, some shame, or some useless labor that God has spared the twin orphans of Oedipus? Antigone lamentava l'amaro destino dei suoi due fratelli, entrambi caduti in battaglia, ma l'uno da eroe e l'altro colpito mentre fuggiva, non da mano nemica, ma dai suoi. In the long war, our brother Eteocles died for us, one among many who died young in the tyrant's service. But our other brother, Polynices, was even younger than he when he saw his brother trampled to death under the heels of the war horse. In tears, he fled the unfinished battle. For others, another decision is made by the spirit of battle, with a strong blow with his right. He unnerves his hand. Now, the fugitive lurches forward, breathing a sigh of relief at the sight of Thebes, his seven-gated city, when he is suddenly seized by blood-spattered Creon, standing behind them, lashing them all into his battle, and he is slaughtered! Have they told you? Or haven't they told you of the latest insults to be heaped on Oedipus' dwindling children?
I haven't been to the market, Antigone. I've heard no news of our loved ones, loving words nor sad words, and I'm not happier and I'm not sadder.
Then hear the news from me, and tell me if your broken heart beats faster or stands still.
Gather your great dust. It seems you paint me blood-red words.
Here it is! Our two brothers, both dragged into Creon's war for the grey iron ore of Argos, and both killed, are not both to be buried in the earth. Of course, the fearless hero of the battlefields, Eteocles, is to be honored and buried according to custom, but the other, Polynices, who died in disgrace, it is now said of his body, it has been made known in the city that no one is to honor him or mourn him. He is to be left unmourned and unburied, a sweet meal for the vultures. And he who does something about it is to be stoned to death Well, tell me, sister, what are you going to do about it?
What are you doing, sister? Testing me?
Yes. To see if you'll help me.
What danger?
To bury him.
He who betrayed the city.
He who the city
He
betrayed.
who caused the revolt.
Yes. My brother. And yours.
Sister, they'll catch you defenseless.
But they won't catch me faithless.
Poor thing. What drives you to drive the last of Oedipus' children down to destruction? Forget the past.
Because you're younger, you've seen less horror. When you forget the past returns.
Think of it this way. We're women. We haven't the strength to fight against men, so we're obedient in this, and in some things even harder. I ask the dead and the oppressed to forgive me. When force is used against me, I obey the authorities. What's the sense of committing useless actions?
Ma non seppe convincere la sorella a compiere l'atto proibito sul corpo del fratello oltraggiato e straziato. I won't ask you again. Go. Go! Follow someone who gives orders. And do as you are ordered. As for me, I am following the custom and burying my brother. And if I die for it, so what? I have left something holy behind me. I'll rest in peace among the peaceful. I prefer to make friends with the dead because they will be with me forever. As for you, laugh at shame and live.
Antigone, bitterly hard as it is to live in disgrace, till the salt tears stop. They don't flow from the eyes forever. The executioner's axe puts an end to life's sweetness. But for the survivor, it opens the slow veins of pain. He can't stop screaming, and even while screaming, he hears the birds moving about him and sees through the curtain of tears the familiar realms and rooftops of home.
I hate you! How shamelessly you show me the tattered apron of your sentimentality. Right now, on the naked stones, the flesh of your flesh is laid out under the wide sky for the vultures. And for you, was yesterday.
No, I'm not good enough to offer myself up as sacrifice, nor willful enough. And I'm afraid for you.
Don't give me advice. Live your life. But let me at least do what I can to honor those among us who have been shamed. I hope I'm not so particular that I couldn't bear to die an unbeautiful death.
Go gather your dust. What you say is wrong, but said in love, and I love you.
Ma udendo che la vittoria aveva coronato la lunga guerra, gli anziani di Tebe vinsero le corone della vittoria, intrecciate con le lucide foglie del velonoso aloro che confonde la mente e rende incerto il passo.
Victory, he brings news of the booty and promises us the return of the soldiers, for which he has ordered and called together a council of the elders of Thebes. Nel mattino di buon'ora, gli anziani stavano già davanti alla casa di Creonte.
Da Argo, precedendo l'esercito, di ritorno dalla battaglia, venne il tiranno e li trovò adunati nel grigio dell'alba. Come laggiù ad Argo gli avvoltoi si aggirassero fra i cadaveri, si compiacquero gli anziani. Gentlemen, tell the world, Argos has fallen! The fountain was toppled! A few escaped from the 11 cities, only the fewest. It's said of thieves that our luck always doubles. Fortune has not weakened us, rather we have weakened misfortune. Thirst of our blood-thirsty weapons was quenched by the first taste of blood. But we did not deny them repeated refreshment on a rough resting place, thieves. You have laid down the men of Argos without a city, without a grave. Out in the open lies that which defied you. Look over there! Where their city once stood. There you'll see dogs with shining faces. The great vultures settled there, screaming from corpse to corpse. But the meal was so rich that the overstuffed birds couldn't rise from the ground. Whoa.
E subito l'incoronaron da loro.
Whoa, you paint a pretty picture of great power. Whoa, and the city will love it when you deliver it. Whoa! And you cleverly add one more thing, the wagons that drive through the streets full of homecoming soldiers, homecoming soldiers, homecoming soldiers, homecoming soldiers, homecoming soldiers.
Soon, friends, soon, but first to business. You see, I called you together for two reasons. First, because I know you will not count the costs when it comes to oiling the wheels of the man-mangling war machine any more than you would deny the blood of your sons in battle. When they return, exhausted to the comforts of home, there's too much counting in the markets. Therefore, give me your quick assurance that the casualty lists of Thebes do not exceed the customary expectations, and further, because the people of Thebes, now that the danger is over, come here to wipe the sweat of the homecoming hero without asking if it's the sweat of the fever of battle or only the cold sweat of fear mixed with the dust of desertion. Therefore, I have buried, and I ask you to approve it, Eteocles, who died for the state with honors and laurels. But the corpse of Polynices, his brother, shall lie unburied as there lies here. He was the enemy, my enemy, and therefore I want no mourning. I want him to be devoured as a meal by dogs and vultures. I have no respect for the man who values human life more than his country. But he who serves my state, dead or alive, I'll praise him either way. I hope you approve this.
We approve it!
Here! Il tiranno oltraggio il morto figlio di Edipo, e per atterrire il popolo minaccio un bagno di sangue per tutti i nemici dentro le case di Tebe. Ma ecco, giunge un messo che annuncia: il terrore non ha atterrito, il corpo straziato è stato sepolto. Which brings me to this: we must do more. The state must be cleansed.
I got here as fast as I could, out of breath, to bring the message swiftly to our leader.
What is this breathlessness? Or are you hesitating?
I'm not hiding anything. I said to myself, why not say it right out? And I don't know anything. I don't even know who did it to you.
Tell me your news and get out of here.
I'll tell you my news. Just now, someone buried the body. Sprinkle dust over the body so that the vultures can see him.
What there? Undertaken.
I know! There was no mark of a spade, no sign of the use of a shovel, and the smooth ground showed no wheel marks, no sign of the culprit. Wasn't a real grave, just some soft dust, as if breaking the law didn't take much. But there were no animal tracks. No dog had come to tear and devour. What the first light of day showed us struck us as unholy, and the lot fell to me to bring the message swiftly to our leader, and to nobody loves to bear our bad news.
O Creon, son of Menocaius, can it be that something holy has happened here?
Stop them! Il tiranno ingiuria la guardia e tutti gli altri. Don't make me angrier by saying that spirits hamper the cowards who would coolly allow the pillars of our city's temples and their sacrifices to be desecrated. I know there are some in the city who hold certain things against me and complain that they will not bow to my will. I know about it. They do it with bribes and presents. Of all things graven, there's nothing of evil in silver. It corrupts whole states. It lures men from their homes to practice every kind of godless evil. But I tell you, if you don't deliver the person, her dead this, alive and in human form, bound to a board and delivered, you will be hanged and into hell with a rope around your neck. Then maybe you'll learn how rewards are won. Stop plundering each other and realize that not all things are made for profit.
Sir, a man in my position has a lot to be afraid of. Being just a nobody whom you threaten. I'm not afraid of being accused of accepting bribes. What I'm really afraid of is that this investigation will get me the reward of rope around my neck. More often the hands of the powerful provide my kind with rope than with silver, as you well know.
Laughing me riddles, you transparent fool.
The males of high rank and must have high-ranking friends.
Then go for their ankles if you can't reach any higher. I know there are troublemakers everywhere. There are several who shudder to hear of my victory and place the laurel wreath with fear and trembling. I'll find them out.
It's an unhealthy spot when the hands of the mighty get into the hair of the mighty. I think I'm still here. I wonder why.
Col capo chino, gli anziani meditano ora l'immane potere dell'uomo, che il mare doma con la chiglia, e i tori col giogo, e col morso i cavalli, ma un mostro diviene a se stesso quando assoggetta l'uomo.
That is monstrous. There is much that is monstrous,
but nothing more monstrous than man.
but nothing more monstrous than man.
He goes out on the sea at night.
In winged with
For he who finds no enemy becomes his own enemy.
As though he were an ox, he yokes the neck of his neighbor.
But his neighbor tears it up.
His neighbor tears it off. If he advances, he steps across the bodies of his own people.
He can't fill his own stomach.
He can't fill his own stomach, but he builds a wall around his property. It must be torn down.
Because what is human has nothing at all. What is human has nothing at all.
He has become his own monster. He has become his own monster. Oh, I'm tempted by heaven not to admit that I know her.
Isn't she?
Secret, unfortunate child of an unfortunate father. Oedipus' child. What brings you to this place as a criminal under the law of the state?
Antigone, quando fu ad essi condotta, interrogata, perché avesse infranto la legge, guardò d'intorno e vide gli anziani e li vide atterriti e disse loro: questo è un esempio.
She did it. We caught her as she made the grave. Now you know everything.
Give me the story.
It was like this. After I left you made those terrible threats. We wiped the dust off the body, which was putrefying already. And we sat on a hill where there was air, because the smell of the dead man was strong. And we agreed that if we got sleepy, we'd wake each other with a poke of the elbows. We opened our eyes when a sudden warm wind lifted the mist from the ground and whirled it among the frames of the forest, tearing the hair from the woods into the valley, filling the air with fog. Something we had to blink, yes, that was it, and rub our eyes. It was then that we saw her, standing there, crying out in a sharp voice like a bird that mourns when it sees the empty nest without young ones. She wailed because she saw the dead man naked, and she spread dust over the body out of the iron jug. 3 times she sprinkled dust over the body. But we ran and held her, and she did not resist. And we accused her of these present things which we have witnessed. But she denied nothing, and was gentle towards me, and sad at the same time.
Do you admit or do you deny that you did it?
I say that I did it, and I don't deny it.
Are you aware of what was announced in the open city about this particular cause?
I knew it. How could I help it? It was clear enough.
And yet you dared to break my law?
Just because it was your law. A human law, and that's why a human being may break it. And I'm just as human as you, only slightly more mortal. And if I die before my time, it may be because it has certain advantages. When you've lived the way I have, surrounded by evil, isn't there a certain advantage in death? And further, if I had let my mother's dead son lie unburied, that would have made me unhappy. But this does not make me unhappy. And if I seem crazy to you, because I fear the judgment of heaven, which hates the bare sight of mangled bodies, and I don't fear your judgment, then let a crazy judge judge me.
Tough child of a tough father.
She hasn't learned how to be cautious.
The toughest iron yields, loses its stubbornness. Temper in the ovens. It happens every day. Yet, though she insults me in spite of our family ties, I will be slow to condemn her because of our family ties. Now tell me, since you did it in secret and now it's out in the open, wouldn't you say, to avoid severe punishment, that you're sorry you did it? Stubborn.
To set an example.
Doesn't it matter that I have you in my hands?
What more can you do to me now that you have me than to kill me?
Nothing more. But having this, I have all.
Well, what are you waiting for? I don't like what you're saying. And I'm not going to like what you're going to say. And I know you don't like me either. Though there are those who do. Because of what I did.
Then you think there are others who see things as you do.
They see it too. And they are moved by it.
Aren't you ashamed to quote them without asking?
But there's nothing wrong in honoring my brother.
Wasn't there a war?
Yes. Your war.
Not the country's.
A strange country. It wasn't enough for you to rule for the brothers in their own city. Oh, how beautiful peace was then, when we lived under the trees in peace and unafraid. But you had to go and drag them all the way to distant Argos so you could rule over them there too. And you made one of them into the butcher of peaceful Argos. And the scared one, you lay out to feed the vultures and to frighten his loved ones.
I advise you to say nothing. Don't say anything to defend her. If you know what's good for you.
Poi chiese che intervenissero, ma gli anziani guardavano solo Creonte. Disse Antigone, chi cerca potere beve acqua salata e non può contenersi e ancora dovrei berne d'altro. Io non sono il primo né l'ultimo sacrificio. Ma si spostarono da lei. Gridò Antigone, guai a voi! But I will appeal to you. For if you help me in my trouble, it will help you later. The man who's after power is like a man who drinks salt water. He can't hold it down, but he has to have more. Yesterday, it was my brother. Today, it is I.
I'm waiting to see who stands by you.
Too late.
Too late, too late.
Too late.
And you take it, and you let him shut you up. It will be remembered.
Ci vorresti discordi, le grida il tiranno. Ma se discorde, la città cadrà in mano straniera.
Così voi potenti minacciate, disse Antigone. E noi ci pieghiamo, e resa debole e schiava la città cade in mano straniera. Si corva la schiena, vede solo la terra e la terra lo avrà.
She's keeping accounts, dissension. That's what she wants under the Theban roof.
You who cry for unity, live by conflict.
I live by conflict here and on the Argive battlefield.
That's right. That's how it is. Anyone who uses violence against his enemy will turn and use violence against his own people.
Anyone who uses violence against his enemy
Will turn
and use violence against his own people.
Chiunque? Chiunque usi violenza.
Chi?
Chi usa violenza?
Chiunque?
Chiunque? Chiunque usi violenza contro il suo nemico.
Si rivolgerà e userà violenza.
Si rivolgerà e userà violenza contro la sua propria gente.
And what it needs for our conflict to be devoured by the
Always
enemy.
the men in power threaten us with the fall of the state. It will fall by dissension, devoured by the enemy. And so we give in to you, and we give you our power, and we bow down. And thus weakened, the city falls, devoured by the enemy.
Are you accusing me of throwing the city away to be devoured by the
The
enemy?
city threw herself away when she bowed down before you. Because when you bow down, you only see the earth. And oh, she She will get you!
Instant power, you monster! Insult your country!
Wrong! Earth is an ordeal. But my country is not only the earth. A place where I can't hold my head up, can't call itself my country.
Giuria la patria, dice il tiranno. Sappi, insolente, che ti ha rinnegata.
Disse Antigone, chi mi rinnega? Per me non è patria là dove corva la schiena. Ahimè, pochi sono rimasti ormai qui in città da quando tu regni. I giovani, gli uomini non tornano più. Oppure partiste con molti ed ora da solo ritorni. Tacque il tiranno e non seppe darle risposta.
Your country no longer claims you as its own, but throws you out like a linking fist that dirties all it touches.
Who throws me out? There are less in the city since you rule it, and there will be still less. You're left with many. Why do you come alone?
Who's missing?
The youngsters? The men? Aren't they coming back?
Oh, how she lies! Everyone knows they stayed behind only to clear the battlefield of the last weapons.
Do your last mischief and become a horror till their own fathers would know them when like beasts of prey they're finally killed.
She's insulting the dead.
Oh, stupid you are.
Le gridano gli anziani. Non sai dalla vittoria ottenuta?
Poiché è la mia nemica, dice il tiranno, essa non vuol riconoscere questa vittoria.
Disse Antigone, meglio sarebbe più sicuro essere ora nelle nostre case distrutte che con te nelle case nemiche. Ostili la guardano gli anziani e si stringono attorno a Creonte.
Pity her! Don't hold her words against her. But you in your raving, don't let your tragedy make you disparage Thebes' glorious victory.
But she doesn't want the people of Thebes to live in the houses of Argos. She would rather see Thebes destroyed.
We would sit more safely in the ruins of our own houses than with you in the enemy's city. I only took what is mine, and I had to steal that.
You see as far as your nose, but you don't see the state's divine order.
It may well be divine, but I would rather it were human. Creon, son of Menelaus.
Get out. You were always our enemy, and even in hell you shall be so. You shall be hated even in hell.
Who knows what the customs are down there?
The enemy, even when dead, does not become a friend.
Of course he does. I don't live to hate, but to love.
And go to hell if you want to love, and love down there. Under my rule, your kind don't live long.
Uscì di casa allora la sorella di Ismene e disse: sono io che l'ho fatto. Ma Antigone disse: sta mentendo. et ergendo il sudore, Creonte disse, decidete tra di voi.
But now
Too late.
Ismene comes,
Too late.
the sweet one,
Too late.
who is for peace.
Too late.
Her face is washed with tears and flushed with pain.
Too late.
Too late. Yes, you go home. Get home. I've brought up 2 monsters, a pair of snakes. Come out with it. Did you take part, the grave, or are you innocent?
I did it. If my sister will accept me, I did it too. And I accept my guilt.
Ma Antigone, intenerita, prego la sorella a vivere. È sufficiente, io credo, che qui perisca io sola. But your sister won't let you. She didn't want to. I didn't take her with me.
Fight it out. I don't think her of a small thing.
I'm not ashamed of my sister's misfortune, and I'm asking her to accept me as accomplice.
I don't like those who love with words alone.
Sister, not everyone is good enough for sacrifice, but even I am good enough for death.
Don't die too abstractly. Don't meddle in things that are none of your business. My death is enough.
I love you! If she is gone, what will I have to love?
There's Creon. Love him. Be his. I'm leaving you.
Does it amuse my sister to make fun of me?
Maybe it hurts too. And the cup of my pain runneth over.
Is it because you did it without me? That you can die without me?
Be of good cheer and live. I have a dead soul, sister. I'm only of use to the dead.
These women, I tell you, they're all alike. One of them loses her mind and the other one follows.
But I can't live without her.
No, I'm talking about her. She doesn't exist.
But you're killing your own son's bride!
There's more than one field for a man to plow. Get ready to die. Comanda il tiranno. Quando in Tebe festosa comincia la danza del pacifico Bacco, scenderà nella tomba la morta vivente. And so that you'll know exactly when it's going to happen, when Thebes, drunk with joy, invites me to the dance of Bacchus. Get rid of these women.
E la condussero via, colei che aveva osato fronteggiare il tiranno.
Servili gli anziani porgono la maschera di Bacco al re, intonando: tu che velato apri la danza della vittoria, non calpestare troppo forte il suolo, e dove è verde.
Possa colui che ti offese lodare la tua vittoria. When you dress up for the victory dances, don't stamp too hard on the ground.
And not where it grows green.
May he who has troubled you, mighty one,
Praise you.
Don't drive him down too deep, that he lies out of sight. For in that direction, he lies on the ground.
Naked to confront you.
He is resigned to his shame,
Hideous and horrified.
abandoned to his loss.
Dehumanized. He remembers his earlier form and rises and is new.
Patient, late, of brothers unlike me sat in their fire-gutted house, rotting away. They earned their bread by weaving, and the ice froze them over each winter.
And their women did not live there at night, but furtively sat around all day in their scarlet cloaks.
And always the threatening cliff beckoned to them.
But not until Peleus came, dividing them with his scepter, parting them, touching them ever so lightly, could they rise up. And kill all their oppressors, for that was the last of all them. For often the sum of misery must only be rounded out by a fraction, and then the blind full of moaning with prehistoric exhaustion comes to an end.
Slowly and swiftly the moon's waxing wane,
Unevenly,
And all the while evil is growing.
that now
falls on the last root of Oedipus' house. And when the great fall,
They don't fall alone.
they fall on me.
As when we lost on the Pontian Sea, as when we lost on the mountain wings of praise, the ill-blowing winds of
salty night, in the salty night, there up ahead,
and lifted from the ground, and lifted from the ground.
it wails along the dark, disheveled shore,
And the groans far from the stricken ground. Haman is coming, your youngest son, dismayed at the loss of Antigone. His bride lies stricken on her dread bride bed.
too late.
Giunge ora, Emone, il figlio minore del re, il condottiero delle truppe della città, che amava Antigone, per annunciare il fermento nella città per la sorte della figlia d'Edipo.
Son, there's a rumor you've come to speak of that woman, not to your ruler, but to your father. And if that's so, you've come for nothing. She busies herself with only one thing, and that one rotten.
Nevertheless, I come to you about this thing, and hope that my father will not listen with anger when it is his son's voice that must bring bad news to the ruler.
Cauto, il padre accenna alla prova imminente con una crudele durezza, ma il figlio non lo comprende.
The people are afraid of your name. Therefore, when big fires burn, you get small messages. Listen! There is deep dissatisfaction in the city.
You listen! When my flesh and blood turns rotten, it nourishes my enemies when there are loopholes and the government seems divided and wavers. Then the stone can start rolling. One complains of taxes, another wants to end conscription. But I keep them both separated and in my power, because I have the weapon. Speak, but I'll listen only to him whom I brought up, my son, to whom I taught the strength of the spear.
She who didn't want the merciless dogs to devour her brother. The city is with her in this, although they condemn the dead man's crimes.
That isn't enough. No, I call that weakness. No, the filth that I've cut off is not enough. It must be done in public, so other filth will see how I cut off the filthy, and that my hand does not miss its mark. But you, knowing nothing, knowing little of the case, you advise me. Watch your step. Look for alternatives. Talk to them in their own terms, as if authority could sway the many-bodied masses to difficult deeds by being nothing but a small, cowardly ear.
But the gentle users of order can do much.
There are many orders. But who gives the orders?
Even if I were not your son, I'd say you do.
Are you my friend, no matter how I do it?
I want you to do it so that I can be your friend. Look, when the rain-swollen brook gushes past the trees, how all those that bend are spared, but the unyielding are broken. Or when a laden ship spreads her sails and won't slacken, bending back from the rower's bench, how it must end in shipwreck.
Give in when the seas of the land we must change. The gentle, and if we shadow in our humanity.
Good children, whether shall we prepare ourselves for the slave driver's chains? Is that what you want?
And chained? When a certain stench reaches their nostrils, the drudgery-driven may rise up and wonder where they are being driven, and driven so hard and drag us all down into the abyss with all the wheels and chains. Know that the city is torn by doubt. What peace threatens, war deranges.
The war is over.
Forget her! Let go of the past!
Per addolcire il figlio indurito, ignorando gli anziani in ascolto, il padre lo invita a scordare colei che ha violato la legge.
Since I'm part of the past, I find forgetting difficult. But couldn't you, if I asked you? Forget her whom you're defending, lest those who yearn for my power whisper, she seems to be that woman's comrade.
Not only hers, but of all that's just, wherever I see it.
Wherever there's a hole in it.
I'd call that stupid if it wasn't my father that said it.
I'd call that fresh if it wasn't a woman slave that said it.
Better her slave than yours.
No, it's not. It can't be retracted.
And it won't be. You say everything and hear nothing.
Ma quando non cedeva, Creonte lo schernisce, agitando sul viso del figlio la paglierina criniera della maschera. That's how it is! Now get out of my sight, quickly!
And I'll get away, so that you need not look at a man who is not afraid and makes you tremble.
Il figlio lo lasciò. Inquieti gli anziani guardarono.
Sir, he who went out angry is your youngest son.
But he won't rescue those women from death.
You mean you killed them both?
one who stayed away. You're right. And the other one, how will you kill her? Lead her out of the city, where now the dancers of Bacchus are lifting the feet of my people. Put her guilt away, where there are no people to see her. Put her alive into a cave in the cliff, with millet and wine, the only meal that is fit for the dead, as though she were buried. Those are my orders, so that in the end, my city shall not bring me shame. Cupo, il vincitore si accinse alla festa.
Allarmati, gli anziani ascoltano la musica che giunge alla città. Si formano i cerchi della danza di Bacco.
È questa l'ora in cui la figlia di Edipo nella sua stanza odia Bacco in lontananza, mentre s'appresta al suo ultimo viaggio. Poiché egli ora chiama i suoi e la città, assetata di piacere, dà al pacifico Dio la sua gioiosa risposta.
Grande è già la vittoria e irresistibile è Bacco. Quando agli uomini in pena dona il liquore d'oblio, gettano via le vesti cucite per il lutto dei figli e accorrono tutti a sposarsi nell'orgia di Bacco.
No, I seem to see it clouding my vision that this is the hour when it must child in her is Bacchus in the distance and prepares for her last journey. Now he calls on his people, always thirsting for pleasure, and our city woefully gives him the joyous answer, for victory is great, and Bacchus irresistible when he approaches the martyr. He hands them a drink of forgetfulness, and the city discards the black robe she was sewing to mourn her son, and runs to the orchard of Bacchus in search of depletion. The lust of the flesh,
It is you who win every battle.
even incestuous lovers are overwhelmed by your urging.
Therefore, to empty, he who gives himself over to be it,
Not only to feel it,
but says he is at peace.
he yields himself to the yoke and bears his neck.
Not afraid of the fumes of the southbound.
Or the thin Lord ship on the black water.
He mixes alien skins and cusses them all together.
It never despoils the bounteous earth with violent hands.
But peacefully from the first act of creation,
His companion earth comfort and great conciliation.
because beauty, who never is warlike, is holy and joins in the games.
But now I find myself losing the rhythm. And I can't hold back the welling of tears. But now Antigone comes to receive the gifts of death, the wine and the millet.
Men of my city, look at me take my last step, and my last look at the daylight, and never again. He bids us all alike, the god of death. He's leading me alive to the harbor of his river. No wedding for me, no wedding song. I am the bride of Acheron.
But your going is famous.
Praises go with you as you go into the death chamber.
No illness consumed you,
Nor were you the victim
of hard labor for hard wages.
You would not accept such wages.
Living your life,
you go alive down into death.
No, you're making fun of me, and I'm not even dead yet. I still see the daylight. My city, and you, my city's wealthy men. You must bear witness for me, and how and why I go, unmourned by those who love me, and under what laws I go, into an unheard of grave, I, who do not belong to the shadows, I, who belong to life, not to death.
When you're up against power, you can't expect pity. Violence never accounts for its motive.
Credi, lei lamentano gli anziani, che da sola ha scelto l'impresa e la morte.
Dice Antigone, vi burlate di me? Seguendo lamenta la sua sorte. Oh, my father! Oh, my unhappy mother! Of whom I was born in anguish, and to whom I return cursed! Who have lived without a husband, oh, my brother! How sweet life is, you've lost it, yes, me too! I'm all that's left, draw me down, close to you!
gli anziani le porgono il calice e la brocca e il miglio, funebri donne, e per consolarla le nominano i dei e gli eroi che da nobili e grandi sono morti.
The body of Danae, too, had to endure the iron gate instead of the light of heaven. She lay in the dark prison, though she too came of a mighty race child. She counted the strokes of the golden hours for the creator of time.
And I've heard how pitifully the Phrygian girl, Tantalus' daughter, died in the tower of Sisyphus, and men say that winter was always with her, and that her throat was washed by snow-bright tears of her eyelids. It may be that I, like her, go to a sanctified bed.
The Sphinx is holy, but then she is witness to holiness.
We who are of this world are witness to worldliness.
Yes, you perish, but greatness is yours, and not unlike holy sacrifice.
Può essere sia dire e rimprovera gli anziani la loro viltà.
rapturously crying out against the injustice of Dionysus. And with stones they stoned him to death. And he got to know God in his madness with his shrieking voice.
And it would be better, too, if you gathered together the outcries against injustice and dried them with tears and did something useful with them. You don't look far enough.
But on the chalky cliffs, the war god watched.
Still Phoenicians, who saw all too far.
Had their eagle eyes pierced through with spears.
And it was dark in their brave eyes circled.
For the power of fate is
It's frightful.
Neither riches nor valor appease him.
Nor towers escape him.
Ma nel contemplare l'altrui scorda la sua debolezza. I cari attendette e grida, i prede ricolmi e i cari verranno, ma a prendere prede. O viventi, grida, voi ora compiango, e il pianto la soffoca l'ira. Poi guarda d'intorno e contempla Tebe l'amata, e solenne si inchina la città a prender congedo, e di nuovo la pena si tramuta in ira. Da te, patria, sono nate le mostre, e per questo dovrai diventare polvere e cenere. Ancelle dice, se qualcuno vi chiederà di Antigone, direte, si rifugiò nella tomba. I beg you, don't talk about hate. I know all about that. Speak of him who kills me, of I'm innocent. He has a shout coming from fate, and don't think that you're safe. You're really victims more. Mango bodies will be heaped up for you unburied, as a cairn for the unburied. You who drag Creon's wars across distant frontiers. No, you may win battles. The last one will destroy you. I mourn for you, survivors. What you will see when my eyes are already filled with dust. Oh, lovely Thebes, my homeland, my city, and you, Dacian river that circles Thebes, where the wagons draw up. Oh, you. My voice falters to say, what will become of you? You have spawned the inhuman. Therefore you will come to dust. If anyone asks about Antigone, say that you saw her escape to her grave.
E poi si voltò e andò con passo leggero e sicuro.
Turned around and went,
With broad steps,
as if she led her guard.
From the plaza.
there she went.
Where the victory columns had already been erected.
Then she went faster.
Done it!
In molti la guardano gli anziani e intonano il coro. Eppure anch'essa un giorno ha mangiato il saporito pane cotto dalle schiavi e solo con la rovina di tutti i suoi innalzò la sua voce maledicente.
But she too once ate the bread that was baked by slaves in the dark cliff.
She sat comfortably in the shade of the prison tower with shelter suffering, till all who had left the deadly doors of Atlanticus' house re-entered dead.
Her bloody hand deals out to each his own, and they don't just accept it, they grab it.
Only thereafter she lay rebellious in her freedom.
Thrust into the good.
The cold awakened her.
Not until the last of her patience was exhausted.
The last cry measured.
Would the child of blind Oedipus remove the customary blindfold from her eyes?
And look at the abyss which surrounds her.
Ma colei che li aveva ammoniti non era di certo ancora giunta alla tomba, che una cupa sensazione si fa strada nella città festante.
Just as blindly now, they lift its feet, till they take the victory libation of highly spiced herbs, concocted in the darkness, and swallows it, and exults. Here comes Tiresias,
The blind man! The seer!
Driven by rotten rumors of growing dissension.
And the simmering unrest!
Below!
Ed ora viene le gente cieca, ed uno in maschera beffandolo gli salta intorno, e scrolla la paglierina criniera della maschera sopra il suo capo e lo perseguita lungo tutta la piazza. E trionfa, ebbro per la vittoria. Muti gli anziani guardano.
always go gently, go steadily, and be untroubled by the dancers. You're leading. Leaders shouldn't follow Bacchus. He who lifts his heels too high off the ground can't avoid falling. And look out for the victory column. Victory! They scream in the city, and the city is full of fools. See the blind, follow the seeing, but the blind are followed by the blinder.
Why are you mumbling against the war, you treasonable fool?
Because you are dancing before you have won it, you unreasonable fool.
Stubborn and sightless! You're a seer who sees only what doesn't exist. You don't see the victory columns, the tower around us.
Can't see 'em. And my reason's not twisted. That's why I'm here, dear friend.
Salto vecchio, non sembri amare le feste, perché non hai anche tu la corona? Noi tutti l'abbiamo, e la voce è aspra di collera.
Uno più cieco segue me cieco, dice il veggente, perché sappi, Creonte, che discordia e impietà non amano gli dei. Orribili uccelli vedo volare, ci batti col corpo del figlio del tipo.
Terrible light celebration. That's why you speak to us in a terrible time.
I have seen terrible things. Listen to the bird oracles and what they portend to Thebes, already drunk with premature victory and deafened by the droning shouts of the Bacchus dancers. I sat in an ancient chair in a harbor full of birds, and I heard a murderous turbulence rise in the air above me, and there was the lashing fury of scratching claws as the birds pushed on each other. Frightened, I quickly tested the newly lit altars, but not in a single spot could I make a good flame. Only smoke, waltzing tearfully skyward, and the thigh bones of the sacrificial ox jutting out of the parchment to cover it.
The signs of a day of victory.
And news that killed joy.
This is the deadly meaning of the sinister symbols. It is you, Creon, who caused the city's sickness, because the altars and hearts are profaned by dogs and vultures who are satisfying themselves indecently on the body of Oedipus' fallen son. Therefore, the birds don't sing their song of good omen, because they have eaten the flesh of a dead man. But the gods don't care for the taste of such smoke. Therefore, soften your heart towards the dead man. Stop your persecution of the dead.
Risa il tirano. So bene che gli uccelli ti appaiono, quali tu vuoi, e l'argento può indurti ad una lieta visione. Your birds fly very nicely for you, but know this, I will not bury the corpse, and I'm not afraid of heaven's wrath. But let's make a bargain. The prophet likes to profit from his prophecy in silver.
Non dare argento a me, ti servirà per la guerra, dice il veggente.
Dice il tiranno, la guerra è finita.
I don't want you to offer me any, because in wartime, no one knows what he'll keep, whether it's silver, or songs, or power.
The war is over!
Finita, chiede il veggente. Giù al porto, fanno seccare i pesci per l'esercito, come se non tornasse in autunno. Crudele mi appari. Perché? Quale follia hai commesso? Muto resta il tiranno e tace, e non sa dargli risposta.
Is it over?
Is it?
I'll ask you a question. Since according to you I know nothing, I'll have to ask. Since you tell me I can't see into the future, well, I'll have to see into the present and into the past in order to stay within my heart and still remain a seer. Of course, I can only see what a child sees. That the victory columns have been stripped bare of metal. I say that's because they're still making spears. And there are many guards. But whether they guard much or little, I say no one knows. And that furs are being sown for the troops, as if autumn were coming. And that fish are being preserved, as if for winter rations.
I thought that was before the victory battle.
No, this continues.
Will booty come with metal now from Argos?
There is much confusion in your house, and no amnesties granted, as is customary after happy occasions. And it is said that your son Haman left you in anger. Be quiet! You bury Antigone in a cave. Be gone! She tried to make a grave for her brother, Colonitis. Be gone! He turned against you. Be gone!
Your war killed his brother, Eteocles. That's how you're cruelly bound up with cruelty.
And since I'm not silenced by silver, I'll have to... There's not enough metal for your war. What is it that you've done? Both mad and bad. But now you must compound both madness and badness. But I'll give my double answer. It is none. Mismanagement cries out for greatness and binds. None. War escalates, breaks its leg. Theft follows theft. Need breeds need. More means more. In the end, it's none. And so I have looked back. And I have looked around. And I have looked ahead. And shuddered. Take me away from here.
Sì, invecente si svela e va via. Stupidi guardavano gli anziani. Una paura più forte li spinge a parlare e domandano. Dunque, come va la guerra, Creonte?
Ed egli risponde, non bene.
That angry man has said terrible things and left still more terrible things unsaid.
How goes your war, Creon, son of Menocius?
I'll tell you, the dirty war that Argos started is not yet over and doesn't go too well. But my son, Megaria, still fights for me with the armored youth of Thebes.
But they are not expendable! Have you started something too big, son of Menocius?
When I attacked Argos, who sent me? Our metal spears went out at your request.
Some terrible things were said. We closed our ears, hearing fear.
And we shut our eyes.
You're beginning to deal with us as you deal with the enemy.
Oh, hurry, you lead your double war.
Your war!
Your
war! And Argos, it would be yours soon enough. Now that rebellious girl has stirred all those who heard her.
Surely the sister was right to bury her brother.
Surely the commander was right to punish the traitor! Ingrates! You'll eat the meat, but you don't want to see the cook's dirty apron. I can expect yet more provocation if the booty doesn't get here.
Man, how much longer will Thebes be without its man?
Until your men have conquered rich Argos for you. Then back, can you? For they all die.
Richiama il nostro esercito!
Certo, lo richiamerò e il mio figlio Megareo lo ricondurrà e verrà con il ferro in mano per percuotere l'ingratitudine. Certainly, Argos will fall, and then I will pull him back, and my eldest son, Megareus, will bring them to you.
Ancora è sospeso in aria il nome di Megareo minaccioso. Quando ho messo compare, oh re, Megareo non è più, e vinto è il tuo esercito, e il nemico avanza.
Many reluctant victors have been garlanded with chains and danced on bended knees.
evildoer! Are you threatening your own people?
I want to discuss it with my son. No,
Bow your head! I'm a bringer of bad news. Stop the hasty celebration of a victory announced too early. Your army at Argos has fallen in a new battle and is in retreat. Your son Megareus is dead. Ansante descrive la lotta e come l'esercito è sfinito dalla fratricida guerra per il figlio d'Edipo combatta con fiacca mano. Ma il popolo d'Argo si batte furioso per la sua terra. He lies mangled on the hard ground of Argos. When you punished the retreat of Polynices, and you yourself hurried back to Thebes, your eldest son immediately ordered us to advance into a new battle. With tired hands, they raised the battle axe silhouette with silver blood against the men of Argos. And sir, the people of Argos fought with desperation. They were even fought, and the children fought. Pots and pans, loaves without food, were filled with boiling water and put down on us from the farmhouse to the south. Every house became a trench, and every house rolled out for a weapon. But still your son drove us forward, and drove us farther into the city, which devastated, now transformed itself into a grave. Among the ruins, we were separated from one another, smoke from all the kinds. Ships of fire confounded our vision, fleeing the fire, seeking the enemy. We slew one another. And no one knows by whose hands your son died. The flower of peace. Oh, God! When the things yourself gave us last long, because the Argives are coming.
Offrendo la grazia d'Antigone.
Yes, amen. My youngest son, my loved one, come. Help me in my great downfall. For forget what I said, because when I was master of many, I could not master myself.
Hurry to the cliffside and remove the crave's wall. Quickly!
Brave Antigone!
Will you stand by me?
Go!